Expectations. We have great big expectations when it comes to Christians, right? We expect one
Yes.
another. We expect to love one another, right? And just be kind to one another, and just treat one another as we would want to be treated, right? That's what we want. And I have great expectations. If I were married, I would have great expectations from my husband. You know, when we take the vow of marriage to love one another till death do us part, and, just to treat one another with respect and, dignity and honor. I would want that. The Bible says that the husband is to love the wife and the wife is to
I
respect the
love.
husband. But what do
Right.
you do? What do you do with the level of pain that you've suffered? And this is the discussion that we're continuing with Dr. Latoya Reeves. She's sharing with me because Lord have mercy. I'm telling you, you are a strong woman. She's sharing with us how she, walked out forgiveness, not just toward her
It's a
husband, but
process.
the with towards the other woman that caused her so much pain and so much anguish in her marriage, right?
Yes, it's a process, and
I
it's something that is ongoing.
I remember the last time you said that before, while you were courting your husband, you said to him, the one thing I asked him not to do is
He
what
did it.
he did in the
Yes.
marriage. So you felt like that was like a sword, a dagger into your heart, right? Like a big,
and
like,
and it caused me not to talk a period of time. I was my expect. I stopped expecting anything. I stopped asking for things because I'm saying to myself, why the one thing I ask you for, you could not give it to me. So I was just operating solo. I just, if I want something, I go and get it. I don't ask him. I don't open up, and yes.
Dr.
And then
Reeves,
things start building up inside of me, and I started getting angry. And the simplest of things, I started lashing out.
yeah, because everything is bottled up inside.
Right.
Dr. Reeves, so can I just ask you, sister to sister, if you have to say to, and I know this is your husband, and all respect to your husband, and like I said before, your husband has okayed this
Yeah.
interview, right? Sister to sister, when they left the man, when you seen the red flag there, no,
You see, the red flags came off. I recognized the red flags
but
after.
forget the red flags. Whenever left the man, if you have to go ask the man, honey, please, whatever you do, don't bring a baby in the marriage. If why did you
When
have to
you,
ask that? That means you knew.
because it came about because I was destined to break generational curse
Curses.
from my
My.
family and from
Mm.
his. So, because both of us came from families that were broken. And I say to myself, even before I decided to get married to him, I said to myself, God, I want to be that testimony for my family. We
No.
prove that love can overcome obstacles. And it was a battle at times. And when you grow up in a broken home, you get a lot of hurt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Emotionally, you are destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want my children to
Mm-hmm.
go through it. I didn't want to continue going through this brokenness and being destroyed. So I said to myself, if and when I get married, first of all, my husband have to be sent by God.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Reeves, I that's good, right? That's not what I'm asking though. I'm asking prior to the marriage, during the courtship, when you said to your husband, whatever you do, don't bring a baby.
It's
Am
because
I
of what?
correct? Am I correct in
Yeah.
saying that this was prior to the marriage?
Yes, it was prior to,
So
and
this is why
again,
I'm
it is
asking why.
because of what happened in my past, in my family. I realized that was what broke my family apart growing up. So I did not want to go through it because I saw it. I saw how it tear my family, and then I was caught in the middle. So I didn't want to go through that. I
You
didn't
didn't want
want
to
my
be
children.
single.
So I said to him, I don't think it's a matter of being single, but when families tear apart, especially parents, we think that is the parents suffer most times, but it's the children that suffer
Okay, all right.
a whole lot. So I just never wanted to have to go through that phase or that process again. I didn't want my children to go through it. So I said to him prior to, I am begging you one thing, not to carry any children in our marriage.
All right. Yeah, but why would you have to ask him that question?
Men all over, they are, you see, men are physical beings. And if they are not so connected to God, they
Oh,
will be led astray. So I am not going to go in blind and say, okay, he attends church and nothing can happen. Things can happen. Things will happen. So I asked prior to.
right. That's fair. I understand. You know, I just want to say an affair is an addiction. It's not love. It's not
Yes.
love. And I think with the sister, I think that she felt like it was love. The
Yes.
fact that she thought that she can challenge you, it reminds me of the story of Leah and Rachel, the two sisters that were married to Jacob. And I remember one part in the scripture where Rachel said to Leah, if you would give me some of your mandrakes, I'll let you sleep with your husband tonight. I was like, girl,
All
bye.
right.
Girl,
Bye.
bye. Girl,
Bye
bye. Bye. Go
bye.
sit down somewhere. You know, the audacity of picking up your husband's phone and calling your number to check
Yes.
you. What was he telling her? Well, I'm just so happy that all of that is
Behind us.
it's behind you, right?
Yes.
It's behind you. That is good news. All right. So we know it's hurt people that hurt people. It's
I put that on my status some time ago, and my husband called me and said, "Why you have that up?" And yeah, I was just scrolling through social media and he saw it, and he said, "Are you hurting now?" And I said, "No, I'm not hurting. I just saw it." And then I realized, since of lately, if I put anything that has a negative um
connotation.
to it
Connotation.
emotionally, he will say, "Why you put that up, babes? I don't think you need to put it up."
Your husband's hurting.
And the other night I asked him, "Why you don't like when I put those things up?" He was like, we have passed that stage. Be more positive now.
Guilt.
And
Yes.
I
Oh.
said, listen, sometimes when I post things, it is not at me or it's not at you, it's not at our marriage. I'll just see it and I don't like it because I don't want anybody question you. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I try my very best. Like sometimes I see things and I will send it to him and get his reaction to it first.
Before. That's so honorable.
Right.
That's so nice of
Yes.
you. Yeah. But I feel like what's going on with him, just really paying attention to your posts and little comments like that, I think what he's wrestling with is the spirit of guilt. You know, it's
Yes.
guilt. And what you're probably going to have to really sit him down and say, honey, really, you are forgiven. I forgave you, you know? And
I
he
said that
has
to him
to.
recently.
No, but you have
Our
to tell him to forgive
anniversary.
himself. He
At our
has to forgive
anniversary,
himself.
I said to him, our anniversary last year, I said to him, I said, listen, I have forgiven you so long. I said, you need to forgive yourself because I've forgiven you and I've moved on. I said, if you realize everything I do now is for the growth and development of our family. our marriage first and then our family. So you need to forgive yourself.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has to. It's very important. I'm telling you, it's not, it's not just for the person, it's for yourself.
No.
And I know he was the one that went out and did it. And in all fairness, I want to bring up again that you stepped out also.
Yes.
You stepped out
Yes.
also. I just want to ask you a little bit about that other side, if you don't mind.
No problem.
The other gentleman. Was that a friend of your husband?
No, he wasn't a friend of my
Was
husband.
he someone
Was
that your husband knew?
I yes, I am by not to have as I said, my husband don't carry friends.
But it's someone
So
he
if
was
somebody
familiar with.
yes, but if he see him on the road, he'll probably pass him because he's not one to focus on yeah.
Right. Was there any apology from that gentleman or to your husband or nothing?
No, I didn't allow it to happen
And why is that, if you don't mind me asking?
because I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I think I dealt with it internally with my husband and just let it be. We dealt with it. It was my fault. It wasn't the gentleman's fault. Deal with me.
Hold
Don't
on,
deal with
stop, stop,
him.
stop. Did you just say it was your fault?
Yeah, no me go to him.
No, no, no.
Even though I
No,
mean,
no, no, no. No, no, no,
so
no, no.
it
No, I'm
happened,
not
and I'm
saying what you
saying,
did was okay. I'm
yeah,
not saying what you did was okay. But it's very important that when we forgive ourselves, we stop blaming ourselves.
true.
You see, you forgave your husband, you forgave the other woman. It's important that you forgive yourself too. The same thing that I'm telling you to do, to
Yes,
tell your husband to do for himself, you have to do for yourself. So we can't, you cannot say, I've forgiven myself, but I blame myself. Because when you forgive
that was
yourself,
then.
all of that,
No, now I look at the situation and I said, but that man that did really want this to happen because him play me. He
really?
knew what I was going through. Yes, he knew what I was going through, and then he used that to create the atmosphere where I let my guard down. So he wanted it to happen.
So did you get any signs from him that he was interested in you, or did he just want to?
Afterwards, he was like, when going through speaking to my husband and going through counseling, this man was actually grooming me for himself. Yeah.
Why am I laughing?
So when I was sharing with him what was happening and he was saying the right things and was bashing my husband and he was this and he was that and
And he's the great guy, right? And this is why you should be
yeah,
with him, and you deserve
yeah,
so much better, right?
and he was like he'll call and said, come let me carry you out, and I would go, and he knew my favorite flowers, and yes, he was actually grooming me for himself, hoping that my marriage would end and he would get me.
What
So
would
that
you
is why
say? What
so
would
I would always say be careful of who you confide in.
Yes, I
When
want you
you're
to talk to young
hurting,
ladies today. I
yes,
want you
be
to really
careful.
talk to young ladies today. I have a daughter, she's a young woman, and I talk to my daughter all the time. But I really want you to say a few words to young ladies today, how they can protect themselves. And I know things happen like you say, right? But
Yes.
really just give some good pointers, and what to look for, and what to do when they do
When
see the
you're
red
hurting,
flags.
when you're hurting and you realize that your male friend is showing too much interest in you, draw the line. So they start calling you. They start complimenting you ever so often. Even when you're in your ragged clothes, they're telling you that you're beautiful, and they have too much time for you now. If you confide in them about a relationship, something happening in a relationship, and you realize that they have nothing positive to say about your partner, that's a red flag. that is a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
If you also realize that, okay, they keep on saying, let us go out, and it is always to intimate places. If they become overly touchy, overly affectionate, draw the line. They are not helping you heal, they are pulling you in for themselves.
But what about if they're not going through a hurting season? What if they're just single women out there and just wanting to make sure they don't fall prey into the hands of the wrong men, dating the wrong
For
guys.
me, you're in the church, one, or if you're not in the church and you're single, no male should invite you out ever so often to secluded areas or on, I would say, overly romantic restaurants or movies, and they're getting too close to you. There must be a borderline
Yeah,
that is
we have to set
drawn.
boundaries. Yeah.
Right. Be careful of the gifts that they buy you too. For me, no male friend can buy me lingeries. You're not my friend.
That's right. That's a good one.
And oftentimes young girls fall prey to that.
Yeah, because they like pretty things.
Oh, I see this and I'm going to order it for you. I'm going to buy it for you. You're going to buy me a lingerie that time you want to see me in it. Or
Did
did
you?
you buy me a top or a dress that is so close fitting, you want to see me in it, and then you're going to say, okay, we're going out, wear it. Why do you want me to wear it with you? I wear what I feel like wearing.
So, Dr. Reese, what you're saying
And
is
be
whatever they
careful of the
show you, believe it. Believe what you're
right,
seeing.
and the conversations too.
Believe what you're hearing.
And if they're too overly protective, so they see you speaking to another guy and they're like, who is that? Why are you talking to them so long? Or their facial expression and body language changes. That's a red flag.
I can
That's
talk
not a
about
friend.
being timing because, like I said, my ex-husband was an amazing man. He wasn't perfect, but I feel like my husband was obsessed because I remember he used to time me when I went to the store. Like, I lived in New York State, and, in New York State, you have corner stores and you live in these high-rise apartment buildings.
Right.
And my husband used to time me when I went to the store. And it's not that I was a bad girl or anything like that. My husband was obsessed.
with you.
And that is a problem. That can, prove to be dangerous. But that obsession is why I had to leave. Like, it was just, he was so obsessed. Yeah, he timed me. Nobody's supposed to be timing you. You go into the store. That's a
I'm
red
an
flag.
adult. I'm an adult.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Give me some breathing space.
and the thing is, with you and your husband, you're saying while you were courting, you had a lot of red flags. I didn't have any red flags. I didn't know my husband was cray-cray. Okay? Yeah, but he proved to be. Yeah, you don't time someone when why you showering so long? What kind of question? Yeah, I'm telling you. So we have to be very, very, very careful. And this is why the Bible tells us all the time, young men and young women, you must not be unequally yoked.
True.
It is so important that believers marry fellow believers. It is so important.
This unequally yoked thing, you see, we look at it as only being in the same denomination.
No, it's
We
not.
have to look at the spiritual maturity of your partner.
I'm telling you.
Because I am more active in my church than my husband, but then he understands. He's at the place where he realized that, listen, she's an elder. There are certain things that is expected of her.
Right.
So I am going to support her. I tell people, I have the most supportive husband. So I can say to him, listen, I have to go to Montego Bay to deliver a sermon.
Right.
And he will ask, how are you going to reach? Am I going to take you? Somebody going to take you? You're going to drive? And he will occasionally, leading up to the appointment, your sermon ready, what you're wearing, stuff like that. The problem I have, however, though, My husband loved to see me dress up and being sexy. But then I have big breasts. I have hips and bottoms. So sometimes when he buys certain things for me, I have to wear something else either over
Okay,
it or
hold on.
on it.
Sometimes when
Right.
he buys stuff for you, it's not elderly stuff.
Right.
It's not
So
holy.
and I would say to him, babes, I can't wear it here. But granted, I'm gonna wear it somewhere else.
Gotcha. I
I'm not
understand.
going to just throw it aside. And I know I'm kind of straying from
No, you're
our
not straying.
topic,
You're right on track.
but as Christian women, we need to understand that even when we are pastors in the church, we are not all woman.
Ah,
We are
talk
not
about
none.
it. Honey,
So
honey,
we must put ourselves together.
together.
We must remember how they met us.
Yes.
So even when we're aging, so I have a
Age.
lot of gray hairs,
Mm-hmm.
but we're going to age gracefully.
Mm-hmm. 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 Did your husband have a lot of baggage when you first met?
Yes, after a while I realized both of us had baggages
Okay.
that we really needed to deal with.
To offload.
We were just we were shoving them under the carpet.
Right.
And you know, I said to one of my elders the other day, I said, you know what I went through in the first part of my marriage was God tearing me apart to build me back. And
Amen.
she said, what do you mean? I said, listen, there were some things I went through in my childhood that not even my mother know about it. And
Mm.
it was while I was dealing with that hurt and going through counseling, I dealt with those situations. So we ought to be very careful too. We have to heal from our past
Mm.
before we try to commit to somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
because sooner or later
Mm-hmm.
that wound is going to open
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Mm-hmm.
going to explode on the wrong person.
I got you. So it's good to hear that you had premarital counseling.
Yes.
Very, very important. Very, very, very
Pre
important.
and post marital counseling too. And that's what I realized that some churches don't do.
Mm-hmm.
So after the wedding day, they think that is it.
Mm-hmm.
Our marriage pastor call us how things going. And
Mm-hmm.
based on our responses, that is where I'm stepping and said, no man, something a go on here so.
Right.
Because
Right.
he was like that in him. Said, no man, that's
Mm-hmm.
how something a go on here so.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what go on.
Right. I got you. Okay. Very good. All right. My goodness. I'm telling you, Dr. Reeves, I thought that after today's interview, I thought that maybe I might give a man a chance, but I feel the same way I did the last time I spoke with you. I kind of like the singleness still.
No,
No?
not all men are the same.
I know that. But
What
it's
you
just,
need to do, you need to take down that barrier and step out. Your husband is out there waiting
is
for
he
you.
blind? Is
But
he
you're
blind?
not showing yourself. You put up that barrier, so you need to take it
You
down.
think there's a barrier up in the realm of the spirit?
Yes.
Think so. I think
I think it was our last conversation. I don't remember when I say we ourselves, sometimes women think that the man they must come at church for we.
mm,
We must visit other churches.
mm-mm.
My husband sit down in some congregation waiting for us to
10
come.
foot brook.
The Lord said, listen, he's in that church today. Go for him. But we're afraid to pursue men. We think that we must always be pursued.
No, no,
It's a
no.
two-way stream. Go out there. He's out there.
Mm-mm.
And you, while I need healing, you need to heal as well.
Mm. I am healed. I'm actually. Are you referring to what I mentioned about the heartbreak I suffered with?
No, man, in terms of you are, I don't think you're fully healed because you're still pulling back. I don't want to let anybody in that space again.
I
Because you're
I
saying
t-
you're happy being single. Are you really
um
happy?
I'm not saying
That question
that
look
I.
on your face.
No, no, honestly, I am happy being single. I've been single, I think, about 14 years now. I am
Okay.
happy, and I think it's because I was just sold out, surrendered. I made myself a eunuch. God did not make me a eunuch. I did it myself.
Okay.
I told the Lord that's what I was doing. Yes, the last relationship was very, very traumatic. Yeah, yeah, it was a lot of heartbreak, right? But even past that and letting go of that and seeing that that was, you know, a blessing rather than a curse. Because when I look back, I'm like, oh, what was I doing? What was I thinking about? I see it as a blessing. But then when I started to really love on the Lord and, finding out how awesome He is, I just say I kind of like this life. And then when I hear stories like yours and that I've heard from other females, I'm like, okay, I'm good. But I'm not saying that I would never. That's not what I'm saying, Dr.
But you're
Reeves.
good for
But I
now.
am good. But I'm not going to go looking for a man or my husband. I feel like he is supposed to find me. And there's nothing wrong with another woman going and pursuing after what she wants. But me personally, I feel like I am supposed to be found. Well, people, I love Dr. Latoya Reeves, and I think y'all know that by now. I absolutely love her. And like I said, the show is real, it's relevant, and it's relatable. We just talk. We just talk every day, normal things. I love to interview normal people, like I say, because, I don't want
You
to be
have to be real.
pretentious. I just want to be real. We want real answers. We want to sit down and say, yeah, her story sounds like your story. I know Dr. Ree's story sounds like your story. It might not be your story today, but it was your story yesterday. So you understand exactly what she's talking about and what she felt, the heartbreak she suffered. But even after the heartbreak, there's always healing. And the healing
Always.
comes through Jesus Christ, right? So I
Amen.
just encourage each and every one of you to continue watching and continue praying and continue believing, continue loving on your husband and your son and what your son in love, the additional son that God has blessed you with,
My bonus
your
son and my daughter
bonus
and
son
my
and
daughter.
daughter. And that's
Right.
it. And just continue, have nothing negative to say about
No,
your bonus son's mother. Speak highly of them. And in
that
doing
was
so,
then.
God will bless you, right? So, Dr.
Amen.
Reeves, until next time,
Thank you. Walk good.
I like
Blessings.
that. What good, right? Thank you for joining me for another episode of Desree. It's always such a pleasure talking with you. Bye until next time.
Blessings.